As you can probably tell from the title, we have some bad news. But although the news is sad, we don't want this video to be.
Instead, we thought we'd tell you the life story of Rupee, Doops the rabbit. Look at those two. Just sunbathing, watching the world go by. My heart is going to explode. I love them so much.
Rupee the rabbit was born sometime around August 2012, and he's actually been in Amy's life longer than I have.
I've always been an animal lover, and when I was younger I studied animal welfare at college. As part of this, I had to do some different placements, and one of them was in a local pet shop, which didn't turn out to be that nice, but that's where I first met Doops. He had come into the shop with a bunch of little baby bunnies, and he was so cute, which meant that the owners of the pet shop decided he was going to be out back as one of their breeding rabbits, away from people and all alone in a hutch. From my short time interacting with him, cleaning him out, feeding him, I had a bond already. He was such a people bunny, and he stood out from all the others because he would just constantly try and lick your hand whenever you were doing anything. Every Saturday morning I would go in looking forward to seeing Doops, and one time I just said to the owners, "You can't put him out back, I want him." I couldn't bear the thought of any rabbit being out in a hutch alone, but especially not Doops since he was such a social boy, so I begged the owner and they let me take him home. Fun fact, when I first brought him home, I was told he was a boy and then a girl, which is why his name changed from Rupert to Rupee, but then it just stuck. I had no real plan of where or what I was going to do with Doops. I just knew it felt right to take him with me. I like to think I rescued him. Doops lived with his brother, another rabbit called Bilbo. Those two would tear up my mum's kitchen and conservatory, where I would sit and play with them for hours. My favourite memory of Doops is the Cherryade incident. I'd left them to run around in my mum's kitchen. When I went back in to check on them, there was a big pool of red all over the kitchen floor. Obviously I panicked until I realised Doops had chewed through an entire bottle of Cherryade and had been licking it up off the floor and spreading it all over with his hops. He was a bit of a menace like that. Sadly, after only a few years, Rupee's brother Bilbo passed away.
Somebody love you.
The bond Doops and I had grew stronger and we did a lot together. He was always there in the evenings to chill with, helping with my college assignments and give me licks whenever I needed them. When I turned 18 and finished college, I ended up moving to Sheffield with some friends, and of course, Doops came along.
And it was in Sheffield where we met, and in true shy millennial style, we met each other on Tinder. For anyone who's used Tinder, it's pretty tough to stand out, and for an anxious, shy nerd like me, nailing that first icebreaker message is a real challenge. Enter Doops. Amy happened to have picked this picture to put on her profile. Little Doops sat on the sofa, demolishing a lettuce in true Doops fashion. He looks so cute with such a character, and so I finally sent the message, "Hey, what's your bunny's name? He's so cute."
Wes was right, it did make him stand out, and his interest in Doops caught my attention, and the rest is history.
As our relationship grew, so did our bond, and the three of us moved into a flat together.
Soon after, we wanted to try Doops with another bunny friend, as they aren't really meant to live as a single bunny, so we found an adorable little bunny who desperately needed rescuing. We called her Evie.
Now Doops is a very human rabbit. Amy had already spent so much time with Doops, cuddling him, reading books to him, and he absolutely loved spending time with her.
Evie, however, wasn't quite the same. She was adorable, but a menace, and she never really cared for humans, but we slowly tried to bond the pair together.
Anyone who's tried to bond rabbits together before is probably aware that it can be quite a stressful process. There's often a lot of fighting, aggressive displays of dominance, until the two fluffballs finally figure it all out.
It took a long time, but they did eventually bond and lived happy together. We've always had quite a chaotic life together. And it was around this time that, through no fault of our own, we were actually evicted from the flat we were living in with only 4 days' notice. But that's a story for another time. Long story short, we ended up renting a terrace house in Hillsborough, and with this much bigger accommodation, it meant Doops and Evie got their own bedroom.
We say bedroom, but it sort of ended up more like a bunny kingdom by the end.
After about a year of living happily together, sadly, their bond broke. In the bunny world, Doops was very easy to bully as he was a gentle soul who was old, partially deaf and blind, and in the end we were forced to make the difficult decision to rehome Evie.
Don't worry though, she was actually much happier in her new home.
After weighing up our options, we decided it was best for Doops to stay as a single bunny and receive all of his love from us.
He wasn't the only animal in our house for long though, as we adopted a few hamsters, and after a while we rescued Rufus.
When we first met Rufus, he was such a nervous little dog. He still kind of is, but his gentle nature made him a good match for Doops. Unfortunately for Rufus, Doops approved of his new little brother, and the two were happy in each other's company. And so, our little family of 4 was complete.
What is it? Oh. Doops!
After moving house again and enduring the lockdown, we moved on to Gigi, taking both pets with us. We did it!
Rufus, Doops the rabbit, me, Wes. This is our home now.
Doops' bedroom was set up in the crotch of the boat, where he lived happily, sunbathing, hopping around in fields with his little brother Rufus, and repeatedly weeing all over our sofa.
Doops!
Oh, come on, that's a big one.
Excuse me. As you can see from our vlogs, the 4 of us lived very happily on our boat.
I'm not allowed the use of my arms anymore.
The cuddles have ended. He's back to jumping around.
You went in search for more.
We went on so many adventures with Doops at the bow.
Just love how Doops has no idea what's happening. Are you on the Thames, mate?
Always on hand to provide comfort in hard times and mischief in others.
Doops, no, you've already had one. Oh, go on then, one more.
It's one of the reasons why you're as old as you are.
Do you love him?
Sometimes. But as he grew older, the health issues started to appear more and more often. His eyesight and hearing continued to deteriorate, but he stayed chirpy and never ever turned down his fresh veggies.
For the next year, we had a few health scares and we realised that Doops needed a regimented routine of various medicines and antibiotics. Although his health, eyesight and hearing were slowly fading, his personality never did, and the 4 of us continued to enjoy another year of adventure.
Well, that's a lovely spot you've got there, Doops.
Oh my, that looks like a lot of fun that we're going to have to clean.
You've been exploring.
Dude's got absolutely no idea what's going on.
He's fully deaf, so we can't hear him, so he's just chilling.
To this day, we think Doops must be one of the only rabbits to have gone under Tower Bridge.
Doops is completely normal setup, plus anchor. What happened, Doops?
And that brings us to now. About 6 months ago, Doops' health took a bigger turn, and because of the risks involved with his age, we weighed up our options together and decided to keep him on palliative care.
By this time, the medicines and the trips to the vets had become really frequent, but again, his love for veggies persevered. For 6 months, we focused our efforts on keeping him as pain-free and as comfortable as possible, but eventually, the time came to say goodbye.
In his last week, we took every opportunity to say goodbye, and we were so grateful for it.
You had a good time. It was fun, wasn't it?
We spent our time doing all of Doops' favourite things. We showered him in his favourite foods.
Breakfast in bed.
Yay! We took him on one last cruise on Gigi. And we let him run around in a field with his best friend Rufus. We just spent as much time with him as we possibly could.
Collection of narrowboats moored at Little Menace's Bloomfield Road, which now passes the edge of the Regent's Park. The morning of his last day, he settled right down. He seemed calm, peaceful. We gave him so many kisses and cuddles. As he drifted off peacefully to sleep.